Revival was Selena Gomez's time to leave her Disney star image behind, enter a more mature sound with her music, and become a full-on global main pop girl. But in order to do this, she had to make some tough decisions, like let go of her longtime record label and managers, and enter studio sessions with the intention of creating songs based off her own relationships and experiences. Revival was one of the most perfectly executed rebrands in pop music history, and I am so excited to do a deep dive on this era for this episode of the Bop Bible. If you're new here, thank you so much for deciding to tune into this episode. I love talking about pop music. I love talking about Selena Gomez, so I am just really looking forward to sitting here and chatting with you guys about this era. And if you're not new, welcome back. Two of my favorite pop music eras are, of course, the Revival era, and an era that wasn't even really an album era at all. It was Selena Gomez's Droplet era between 2017 and 2019, when she was just releasing standalone singles. And so because I like these eras so much and they were back to back, it inspired me to create 2 podcast episodes where I do full-on deep dives on these eras. The first will be this episode, which will center around the Revival era, obviously. And the next episode will be the Droplet era. I'm going to get into everything surrounding the Revival era, where Selena was at that point in her career, her relationships at the time, the rollout of the album, the tour that ended up getting canceled, the music videos, and I'm also going to tell you the song that I think is the most underrated song from the album. So let's start with where Selena was at this point in her career as she was about to start the recording process for the album Revival. So by the time Selena was only 21 years old, she had released a total of 4 albums, 3 of those being with Selena Gomez and The Scene, and one of them being her first solo album, Stars Dance, which she put out in 2013. The whole Disney era is just another podcast episode I'm going to have to do. I'm actually planning an episode where I can talk about all of the iconic Disney stars and the albums they were putting out: Miley, Selena, Demi, Hilary Duff, all of them. So definitely stay tuned for that. But I think it's important that I talk about them a little bit for this episode because they were a very important part of Selena's music career. Disney stars, for the most part, were not really giving a lot of creative input when it came to their music, simply because Disney was kind of controlling that and telling them what to record and what to release, which, I mean, makes sense in a way because the Disney stars were very young when they were putting out their music, so they didn't know a lot about the industry. But by the time Selena was 21, she was ready to start releasing more mature sounding music, which is why we started seeing her release songs like Come and Get It from that Stars Dance album. Come and Get It is when she started stepping into a more sensual sound with her music, but it wasn't too over the top. Like, it was definitely still appropriate for her Disney audience. And I feel like this was also the time that she was ready to start making her music more personal. Like I said, a lot of these Disney stars would just get songs written for them and they would go into the studio and record them, and they didn't really connect to their own personal lives. But towards the end of Selena's contract with Disney, you can tell that she was ready to start releasing songs about her own relationships, which is what we saw with the song The Heart Wants What It Wants. The Heart Wants What It Wants was a turning point in Selena Gomez's music career. She released the song as her final single under Disney, and lyrically, it was her best song at the time. Selena Gomez stated herself when she was on air with Ryan Seacrest that the song is about her relationship with Justin Bieber.
I made some decisions that weren't great as well, and so did he, and that's why I feel like we went through all that to only make us better. And he has heard it, and he has seen the video, and it's something that I feel like girls need to hear, and it's something I'm willing to share with people.
In this song, Selena sings about being in a relationship with someone that she knows is not good for her, but because of the history she has with this person, she just cannot give it up. Like I said, Selena and Justin were very on and off, so fans didn't really know when they were together and when they weren't together. So Selena going on air with Ryan Seacrest and saying that The Heart Wants What It Wants is about Justin was like yeah, we are broken up and we're on okay terms. He said he likes the song. And I think that was a beautiful moment for Selena to share. She was very vulnerable. And I think this was just, again, a turning point because it was a sign that she was ready to talk about her own experiences through life and through relationships. Also, do you guys remember when she performed it at the AMAs in 2014? That is honestly one of my favorite performances of all time because I feel like she really went out there and said, you guys think that I can't sing? Let me prove you wrong. Because her vocals delivered in that song and it was just so emotional. Like Taylor Swift crying at the end. I was 14 years old and literally crying watching that on TV. Like it was such a beautiful performance and something that I still look back on to this day. So The Heart Wants What It Wants was really such an important song for Selena to develop the confidence to share her own stories in her music, which was really what she needed going into this revival era. So The Heart Wants What It Wants was Selena's final single under Disney's record label, Hollywood Records. And at that point, Selena had been signed with them ever since she started on Disney Channel and began releasing music with The Scene in 2009. At that point, Selena had been managed by her mom and her stepfather ever since the start of her career. But with this new transition, she also decided to let them go as her managers and find new management with her manager that she still has to this day, Aline Kashishian. Selena announced that she signed with Interscope Records in 2014, which was a sign to her fans that she was ready for a complete rebrand with her music. Selena and Interscope instantly began working on the album that would become Revival, and part of this process was finding new collaborators to work with. Selena did work with Rock Mafia, the production duo she worked heavily with during her Disney days, on a few Revival songs like the title track and Kill 'Em With Kindness, but her label set her up with a handful of new collaborators, writers, and producers for a new sound. She started working with the production duo Stargate, which was huge because Stargate produced songs for artists like Beyonce, Rihanna, and Neo. This was also when she started working with Benny Blanco, who is now her man. And this was also huge because Benny Blanco produced like every pop song you can imagine. Teenage Dream, Diamonds by Rihanna, Circus by Britney. Like he was just working with all of the main pop girls. Even the legend Max Martin worked on this album on a song that I'm going to get into. But yeah, it just goes to show that Selena and her team were ready for this switch up in her sound and just for full-on pop superstardom. And this wasn't only with producers. Like this was also when Selena Gomez started working with songwriters Julia Michaels and Justin Tranter, and the three of them kind of became a trio with Selena's music, and even to this day they create songs together. One of the songs that Selena worked on with Justin and Julia was the lead single for Revival, Good For You. Selena told Billboard in 2015 that Good For You was only the third song she heard while working with Interscope, so I feel like it really did set the tone for the rest of the album. Selena is an artist who has definitely made the genre whisper pop popular, and Good For You was the song that really initiated that. Good For You being a slower, more pop R&B song featuring a rapper, A$AP Rocky, was completely different from anything Selena had released before, which made it the perfect lead single for this album. Selena told Time magazine, "Good For You wasn't even supposed to be the first single, but I didn't want the obvious huge song. I wanted to set the tone. That's what the next phase of my life and my career is going to be." I love that she didn't do the obvious choice of a lead single. Like her team at the time was probably trying to make a song like Same Old Love, the lead single, because it is very upbeat pop. But Selena was like, no, I want to do something totally different. This is my rebrand, my chance to reintroduce myself as a more mature sounding artist. I'm going to release the song Good For You. And Good For You was a massive success as a lead single. It debuted at number 9 on the Hot 100, becoming Selena's highest debut at the time, and it ended up peaking at number 5. So it was a smash hit. I also thought the music video for this song was perfect as well, because Selena decided to use the stripped back version of the song for the video. And the video was literally just her, like on a couch, feeling herself. I think the video was just perfect for the song. I feel like it perfectly displayed the whole sensualness of Good For You. Because of the success of Good For You, Selena actually went to the studio for 4 more days with Justin and Julia to do some last minute additions to this album, even though her album at the time was ready to be mixed and mastered. And good thing she decided to go back into the studio with Justin and Julia, because 2 of the songs that came out of those 4 days of being in the studio actually made it onto the album, and they were Hands to Myself and Me and the Rhythm. I feel like Good For You really just showed how involved Selena wanted to be with the creative process on this album. Even though the song started with the writers Justin Tranter, Julia Michaels, and Nick Monson, Selena heard this song and wanted to get into the studio to meet these writers and give her own input on the song and rework the lyrics a bit. In fact, Julia Michaels told Cosmopolitan, "Working with Selena on her new album, Revival, was the first time I actually collaborated with an artist as opposed to just writing the song and pitching it. I had written songs that were sent to her through her label, and she asked to meet me. She came in and was like, I feel like you're going through the same things I am because everything you write, I feel, and it's so much a part of my life that it's almost scary." I just thought that was so cute because, yeah, a lot of times during this time, especially during like the 2000s, 2010s eras of pop, artists would just hear songs, pitch to them by their label that were written by other writers, and they would just go into the studio and record them and not really have any interaction with the other writers at all. But Selena hearing these songs from Justin and Julia and being like, I really want to meet these writers and collaborate further with them, indicated that she wanted to be heavily involved with the creative process of Revival. I also love how Selena Gomez performing this with Taylor Swift on the 1989 tour was like the first time she performed this song, because really, what other promotion do you need for a song than promoting it with Taylor Swift? But yeah, I think Good For You is probably one of the most timeless Selena Gomez songs ever. Even to this day, I think people hear it and they're like, I want Selena to make more music like this. Good For You was just really that girl. And I'm so happy it became a massive hit for Selena. For the second single, Selena released some more upbeat pop song, Same Old Love, which was produced by Stargate and Benny Blanco and co-written by Charlie XCX. I think Same Old Love was the perfect choice for a second single because, as I mentioned, with Good For You, Selena wanted to show a completely new side of her. She wanted to release a slower, sexier song that people just weren't expecting. But with Same Old Love, she was like, I am still a main pop girl. I can release a full-on upbeat pop song and do choreo. I can do all of those pop girl things. So it was really just a perfect song to show her versatility as a pop artist. I also think Same Old Love was the perfect song for Selena to release after being in a highly publicized relationship with Justin Bieber. At this point, Selena and Justin were still broken up. The song is all about finally feeling ready to leave a toxic relationship behind and just being 100% done. Like, even if this person is wanting you back, you're like, no, I'm done. At this point, Selena and Justin were still broken up, and Charlie XCX actually revealed that this song was perfect for Selena because she knew about Selena's relationship with Justin. When talking about the decision to offer the song to another artist as opposed to keeping it herself, Charlie XCX said to Pop Crush Nights, I think it meant so much more coming from her than it would have from me because I think she had just broken up with Justin at the time. So Charlie knew the tea. She knew it was the perfect song for Selena to release, and it was. I mean, everybody knew about Selena's relationship. I feel like fans could hear this song and instantly be like, okay, this is clearly about Justin Bieber. And it definitely gave the song more attention. So I mentioned that my favorite Selena performance was when she performed The Heart Wants What It Wants at the 2014 AMAs. But I'm also thinking about the 2015 AMAs when she performed Same Old Love. I know you guys know what performance I'm talking about. She was wearing all black, walking down the stairs, and then goes into that choreo. So good, and just such like main pop girl energy that she delivered with that performance. Another timeless Selena song that I'm so happy ended up on Revival. It could have ended up with Charlie or even Rihanna. There's a Rihanna demo out there too, but I feel like it just made the most sense being a Selena Gomez song and was really perfect for the Revival album. So another way Selena was really able to display this big rebrand with her music career was through the Revival album cover. When Selena Gomez revealed the album cover for Revival in September of 2015, it was clear that this was her revival. Like, this was her reintroduction as a pop artist, because do you think Disney would ever let one of their artists pose like that for an album cover? No. But it was iconic. Selena appears nude on the album cover, and you can really see the influence that Christina Aguilera's Stripped had on this album. In fact, Selena told Ryan Seacrest that Stripped was a major influence on the Revival era. Stripped by Christina was a huge shift into a more mature direction, and we saw that with not only the music itself, but with the visuals. So I feel like Selena really wanted to portray that, not only with the songs, because we had already heard Good For You and Same Old Love, so we knew the direction she was heading in sonically, but this gave us a chance to see what she was doing visually as well. Selena released the album in October of 2015, and it debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling 117,000 units in its first week, becoming Selena's highest sales debut at the time. So it was clear that we had our new main pop girl. Like, Selena was really the it girl of 2015, and she wasn't ready to let this era end. After Same Old Love became a top 5 smash hit, Selena was ready to make the song Hands to Myself the third single from the album. Hands to Myself was really the perfect choice for the next single because it had that sensualness of Good For You, but also the pop star energy of Same Old Love. I feel like it really was the perfect combination of what went right with those first two singles. And Max Martin even added production onto this song. So obviously it had to be a single from the album. I'm honestly surprised that Selena and Max Martin didn't work together again after this, because this song is just so good. I feel like, again, it's just another timeless song in Selena's discography, and it would have been cool to see them work together for more of her songs that came afterwards. I mentioned that Selena really wanted to switch up what she was doing visually with this album as well, and she definitely did that with the Hands to Myself music video. For this music video, Selena wanted to work with director Alec Kashishyan, the brother of her manager Aline Kashishyan. He was the director of Madonna's iconic Truth or Dare documentary, which Selena was a huge fan of, and he actually went on to direct Selena's documentary, My Mind and Me. At that time, the Hands to Myself music video was probably the most scandalous thing Selena Gomez had done in her music career. In the music video, Selena plays the stalker of a Hollywood actor, and she walks around his house wearing lingerie. She looks so good in this music video, by the way. It's one of my favorites by her. There's even a scene where Selena is imagining how a love scene would go between her and the actor, and it's very touchy-feely between the two. She's in her bra, in her lingerie. So yeah, very iconic, but definitely scandalous at the time, because we had known Selena as this Disney star, but this was her fully stepping away from that image. Everything about Hands to Myself, from the visuals to the song itself, just made it the perfect song for Selena's Rebrand. It became the third consecutive top 10 hit from Revival, peaking at #7 on the Hot 100. So people were very much still loving the Revival era. After 3 singles that showed a way more sensual side of Selena, she was ready for the 4th single to show the more heartwarming side of her music. She decided to make Kill 'Em With Kindness the 4th single from Revival, and I really think this was the perfect song for the fans that have been with Selena from the beginning. The song has a very powerful message about dealing with negativity, kind of similar to Who Says, which is one of Selena's favorite songs, so it makes sense why she wanted to release Kill 'Em With Kindness as a single. She actually told Extra TV that this song was inspired by body shaming she faced when paparazzi photos came out of her enjoying herself in Mexico. The world really can be a nasty place, which is why this song is the perfect anthem. Out of all of the songs from Revival, I think that this one was the most kid-friendly, because there wasn't anything inappropriate about the song or the music video. It definitely did not give Good For You, Hands to Myself, or Same Old Love at all. Kids who were fans of Selena could hear this song and enjoy it, and their parents wouldn't get mad, you know. This song was a cute top 40 hit, peaking at #39, so it didn't chart as high as the previous 3 singles, and so after this, Selena decided to close out the Revival era. Selena and her team were actually planning a 5th single for Revival. They were planning on making the song Sober a single, which I think would have been perfect because Sober was a fan favorite. It even charted on the Bubbling Under Hot 100, so people were really into that song. But I think with Kill 'Em With Kindness not really charting super high, Selena was ready to just move on from Revival. Jay Cash, who is a writer on the song, told the Idolator in 2017 that this song was going to be the next single after Kill 'Em With Kindness, but Selena was just ready to move on from the Revival era, which makes sense because of the tour cancellation. Throughout 2016, Selena toured North America and Asia for the Revival tour, and she was planning on touring Latin America and Europe, but she canceled the rest of the tour due to her mental health. About a year prior to Selena going on this tour, she revealed that she had lupus, and she also said that side effects of lupus can be anxiety and depression, which is what she was experiencing on this tour. She told US Vogue that she would have panic attacks before going on stage and after the tour when she was leaving the stage. Upon canceling the tour, Selena went to a rehab facility where she spent 3 months without her phone for symptoms of mental and physical exhaustion. I definitely do not blame her for canceling this tour. I mean, you have to think about the fact that she was on Disney for years, and Disney stars definitely have demanding schedules. Probably wasn't ready to go on a tour yet so soon after leaving Disney. I am so sad that I missed out on this tour though. There are like a few tours that even to this day, I'm just like, why did I not go to that tour? And Revival is one of them. For some reason, I just wouldn't go to concerts until I was like old enough to drive and go by myself and my friends. But looking back, I definitely should have found a way to get myself to the Revival concert because I see videos of this tour and I really just missed out. It's so sad. And who knows if Selena will ever tour again. You know what I mean? Like any other pop artist, you can be like, oh, I'll catch them on the next tour. Selena has not toured since Revival. So I mean, I hope she does. I hope she does some sort of live performance again, and you best bet I will be there. But yeah, one of my regrets in life is definitely not going to the Revival concert. The main reason I feel like Revival was one of the most perfectly executed rebrands in pop music was that Selena was able to step away from her Disney image, but still not be too controversial. When Selena did her Revival era, Miley had already done her extremely controversial Bangers era, which we all look back on now and are like, oh my gosh, that was so iconic. But during the time, people were definitely confused and she definitely lost fans. Selena definitely kept her younger fans interested by not doing anything too crazy, but also gained an older audience with her more mature sound and image. I also think the styling for this era was very cohesive, which definitely helped with the rebrand. I mean, Selena was wearing darker outfits on stage and in her music videos. She had the black and white album cover. So yeah, everything just went well together. I want to touch on the most underrated song from this album, which I think is the song Perfect. Perfect is probably my all-time favorite Selena Gomez song. In this song, she sings about being in a relationship with someone she knows is seeing someone else and kind of knowing that that person is perfect, which leads to your own insecurities. And yeah, lyrically, I just think it is one of her best songs, and vocally too. I mean, when she comes in on that chorus, it is just so good. And that is one song that I wish that she would give more recognition to today. When Kelly Clarkson told Selena sometimes the best vocalists aren't the powerhouse singers, they're the singers that move you, she was talking about songs like Perfect. Perfect is a song that will move anybody. You can hear Selena's emotion. You can feel exactly what she was feeling in that moment when she recorded it in the studio. And I think it is just so beautiful. The Revival era Rebrand honestly belongs in the pop history books because it is what gave us the superstar Selena Gomez, not just the Disney star Selena Gomez, but the main pop girl. I would love to know your guys' favorite parts of the Revival era, your favorite songs, your favorite music videos. If you went to the Revival tour, just your favorite memories from this era, let me know either in the comments on YouTube or Spotify. As I said, I will be doing another episode on Selena Gomez on her iconic Droplet era, which was after the Revival era. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this episode, Please follow the podcast on whatever platform you are using and rate it 5 stars. Please. It just takes like literally 2 seconds to do that, and I would appreciate that so much. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I can't wait for the next episode.